Good day, YouTube, and welcome once again to Bishop's Blast. I'm your host, go by the name of Dr. Meebane, where we dive into what I consider a sanitized version of a YouTube channel, where we talk about all things firearms related. Now, I'm not a subject matter expert by any stretch of the imagination, just an old retired Navy guy who loves God, who has quite the affinity for all things that go this time. Do me a real quick favor, I need you to hit that subscribe button. And I want to thank everyone who's already done this for me already and rocking with me as you help me chronicle my 2A journey. Also, if you're really feeling overly considerate and you don't mind, go ahead, type that like button and share this with everyone so that we can get this information as far and wide as we possibly can. And if we do, it's only because of you. And I want to thank you. So, once again, we're going to tune into another version of Bishop's Blast. Come on, let's get it in. Today we're going to dive, I'm going to be a bit nostalgic today. We're going to dive into what I really considered a real home defense firearm was for me. Why I chose it, and why it may not be my primary home defense now, but I still rock with it and I still give it 2 thumbs up. Before we do that, we're going to start doing what I call an EDC check. So real quick EDC check. Gonna get to show you I'm rocking with 509. This is the FN 503. The FN 503. That's right. It is clear. Safe direction and shoot. This is the FN 503. If I'm carrying it, you know what it is. It's probably chambered in a great 9mm slim profile. I have the extended version on here. It carries 10-2 here and very slender. This is definitely something, I know the grip is what usually makes you print, but this thing keeps me from printing, so anyone doesn't know that I'm carrying a firearm. At the very same time, it is extremely comfortable, and how the grip is, it seems wide, even though it's so thin. It feels like I'm holding a full-size firearm, even though I'm not. So this is something that's very compact, and it works for me. Just quick EDC check. FN 503. Now, going into my home defense firearm, my first one, not my first firearm, the first one that I considered a home defense firearm, because I probably had a few before then, but I considered them things that I was going to work on for concealed carry. I considered them defensive firearms, if you will, but nothing that I felt extremely comfortable with in a pinch if something was to go boom in the night, and I had to really check in on it. And let me say this, it's very important that, number one, my public service announcement, practice. I do believe that you need to be proficient with those things. And one of the reasons why practice is so important, because even though you might be tearing up your target, and when you go to the range, it's a different story when your heart's racing. You don't have the clarity of thought that you think that you're going to be able to have in a normal environment, and you're reacting instead of thinking your way through. So I just wanted you to understand that from the very onset. When I'm saying practice, I'm not saying so that you can be sniper trained, but it's something that, so at the end of the day, when I was a fighter, the one thing that I used to really hone in on was I trained so hard that on my worst day, I wanted to be better than my opponent on his greatest day, on his best day. So I put myself in that predicament. I took myself to the depths of below and beyond, so that when it actually came time that I actually had to be that combatant, I wanted to make sure that this is a walk in the park concerning what I normally do. So I kind of have that same frame of mind when it comes down to firearms and firearm safety, and using it from a protective perspective. So I try to put myself in adverse situations even when I'm doing dry fire drills at home, I'm push-ups, sit-ups, running around, jumping up, and then all of a sudden trying to put my eyes on my target, make sure that I'm following through and actually pulling the trigger, practicing trigger discipline, a grip discipline, just to make sure that I'm still pretty decent at doing it. And to be honest with you, it's still probably far-fetched from what will actually happen if that alarm went open and I heard that door swing open in the middle of the night. But I just wanted to be prepared for it. And that's one of the reasons why I picked the home defense firearm that I picked for my initial one. That I said, I know that this is a home defense. Obviously, it's not a concealed carry because it's a long gun. And just so that you would know, the one that I picked right off the bat was this baby right here. And I have grown to love it, be extremely comfortable with it. Even my sons didn't realize that I was going to be as proficient as I was with this firearm until they actually saw me navigating and shooting with this. And this is the ACAR 612 shotgun. This is the ACAR 612 shotty. That's right, just so that you know. It is clear. Let me show you. It is still clear. Safe direction and shoot. This is the ACAR model 612. And it's from Churchill. And it's chambered in, you got it, 12 gauge. Now, I've got some buckshots on my saddle. I sometimes train with some bird shots. Pretty decent, honestly, even with slugs. And the one thing that I really like about it is, even though those slugs have a kick to it, I like a shotgun that has a pistol grip, because when I'm navigating it, it gives me, when I get my perch on it, it allows me to push and pull at the same time, which it doesn't seem like it's putting all of the pressure on my shoulder. First time I let a lot of people shoot this and they put it on their shoulder, they're just grabbing, pulling the trigger, and I can tell that that kick is really decent getting to them. I'm not a big guy, I'm a small frame guy. This kick doesn't bother me whatsoever. But this Churchill ACAR model 612, it is a really good shotgun. It actually has a Picatinny rail on it. If I wanted to throw an actual some sights on here, it does come with some nice iron sights. It does have a fiber optic. I don't know if you can see it. It's a fiber optic red sight in the front, and it also has a breacher tool on here, just in case it wasn't bad enough that you were shooting, but if you were trying to actually penetrate a door. And these things are pretty sharp. If you notice, it's kind of dusty and dirty, so I think the last time that I shot it, I haven't cleaned this in quite a while, but I'm gonna tell you, flawless when it comes down to this. And I really don't mind doing it. And once again, I said this over and over again, when it comes down to a shotgun, I don't worry about safeties. The only opportunity that you're gonna get if you broke into my house to understand that you put yourself in the worst predicament as possible is when you hear that. Once you hear that, all bets are off. I'm in full engage mode, and I'm pretty sure that I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And to be honest with you, let me just have a moment once again, just so that you can see it. A Churchill ACAR model 612, chambered, good old 12 gauge. Let me say this. For the most part, I believe in when I carry a firearm, even my concealed carry, most of the ones that I'm holding and carrying on me, I've gotten to the point where I'm comfortable enough to carry one around in the chamber. Just put that out there. Mainly because I don't want to try to figure out or fumble if I really actually had to do that. I don't necessarily, for all of the firearms that you may see me have displayed anywhere in my house, none of them have a magazine more or less around in it. And if it does have a magazine, it's totally empty. Anything that's, if you can see it, it's non-operable. If you can't see it, it's probably hot. I do that because those things that I'm gonna grab that are not visible to someone are the ones that I'm comfortable with. I practice with. And when it comes down to the 12 gauge, yes, you're gonna get that one sound if that's the firearm that I choose. If I choose that, you're gonna get that opportunity, and that's the only opportunity that you're gonna get. And I say that because that means that there was not one already in the chamber. That means I chambered around to be able to do so. This actually is a 5+1. So if I have one in there, then I can go ahead and load 5 more in, so I have 6 in my shotgun. The reason why I'm so so much on top of it and love the shotgun is because from a perspective of accuracy, I don't necessarily have to be as accurate as I am with a handgun or even with a rifle because of the spray, unless I'm shooting slugs, and I'm not using slugs in my house for a home defense. So that's the reason why, if you want to know why I choose, and I think that a shotgun is a good self-defense, home defense firearm, even if you're not comfortable with anything else. A shotgun is a pretty good way to go. Once again, I'm comfortable with it. I feel like I'm proficient with it, and I feel like it's going to do the job when I need it to get done. So this is not my primary one anymore, but I have no problems going back to the well and pulling it out if I had to again. But I wanted to share with you. Just feeling a little nostalgic on today. I wanted to share with you my first, what I considered truly 100% a home defense firearm. That was it for me. That was the Churchill 8-car Model 612. And I want you to understand, if you're looking for something, you might want to check that out. And I want to thank you once again, always, for rocking with me on Bishop's Blast. I want you to tune in because we're going to have a lot more stuff that's going on. And I'm going to continue to start to try to do my concealed carry check, my EDC check. So that's one of those things that I just started to add onto these series as I'm going to do it. Even I'm going to be doing some other things, doing some motorcycle rides. I'm going to see if I can mount a holster to my Harley. I'm going to try to get all of that on film. But when I do these things, even when I'm going out, EDC check, I'm trying to keep you up on what Doc is carrying while he's out and about, making sure that he is safe at all times. But once again, I want to thank you for tuning in with me to Bishop's Blast. I want you to continue to stay tuned and be blessed.